Hey, fellas, what's going on tonight? I just got back from the library, but we're going to do the Insert Revolution podcast with Vinny and Steve down there. I'm Dave. This is episode number 70. How you get through a hobby drought. And it's when you have a ridge of high pressure coming through and then moisture coming from the south. That's how you get through the drought because storms pop up on the front. For the stationary front, you have localized flooding. And that ends our broadcast, everyone.
Have a good evening. Interesting, Dave. Interesting. All right, we'll go back to the normal way.
So, how is everyone doing this evening?
Better than you.
Much.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, right?
It's true.
And yes, Paul, his hair was technically difficult. He made it just for you. The only thing he's missing is the pocket protector.
Yeah. And those are in back order. They're marked out right now, so.
I have a few. I'll send you one.
I was going to say, it's probably because Vinny bought them all.
Hashtag facts.
He's cornering the market. Good deals only.
Hey, I wore a pocket protector.
Well, they are, I suppose, good for the fancy pens, but at the same time, I don't keep pens in the pocket up here. It's usually my pants pocket that when I'm working. So, but tonight's episode, it's sort of I wouldn't say a rehash of other things, but this is more in depth of how do you collect when either stuff is out of your realistic price range, or things your main collection or collections stuff isn't popping up. I mean, you see some nice stuff, but again, too much, or it's just okay. I've got that already. I really don't want a second copy. I've got my list of at least stuff I have either written down or in my head that I know I need, and I don't want to blow my wad on something that I've already got. I don't need, theoretically. We're not talking about hashtag good deals only, and something comes along where, okay, you bought something for 80 and now it's buy it now of 20, and you're like, okay, I can't pass that up. But you're not spending another $80 to $100 or whatever. It's 20 for some of us is a good chunk of money. But when you buy something for 80, you get it for a quarter of that price or 3/4 of that price, whatever, a quarter of it. Then that's a good deal. We're not talking that. We're going to be talking sort of what other collections do you dip into, because that, again, sort of what I've been doing lately with Brodeur stuff, either going for people who are getting their stimulus checks now somewhere overseas and they're spending that money on it, whatever's happening there, and then things going for 6-8 times what you expect, or just where I know Steve and I haven't talked a lot about the Terrell Davis stuff that's popped up, but usually he'll send something our way. Even like, oh, shit, check this out. Haven't seen this one in a while. Might hashtag make a play on this one. So there hasn't been any of that. So I'm not going to say I assume the TD market is sort of barren, but again, if he's not jazzed about something or Vinny's not texting about Lemieux stuff, we all have to assume the market isn't as flush with riches as it was 6 months ago, a year ago, 16 months ago. So we're just gonna about that. Hope everybody else can join in the chat if you've got something to say. Hey, that's great. If not, come along for the ride. It's a fantastic voyage.
Sometimes.
Allegedly.
Facts. Just got a dog nose. Where's Ed when you need him? Oh, wait, Ed'll be here later for those who want to stick around and watch. In about 40-ish minutes, give or take. Maybe,
Somewhere in
perhaps,
there.
allegedly. Somewhere in that vicinity. For anybody who's watching the Eagles game, if you happen to notice when it's halftime, that should be about the time. Ed should be here.
Yeah.
He gets to enjoy in the Festivus season of opening a package from Vinny. So he's been sitting on it for a while. Okay, I got to read this. This is actually pretty funny. From a fellow Instagram faithful and IRP faithful, Cardboard Underground.
Oh, fuck.
It says, we're not on speaking terms, Dave. I think I messed that up. I'm sorry. I know I just ruined the rest of the year for you, but I apologize. So it says, and I quote, I just checked eBay to see if Supreme makes a pocket protector. They do not. Dave wouldn't been next level with that. Just saying. Just saying was me. But see, everybody's looking out for you, Dave. Everybody's looking out for you.
Everybody has to at this point. If they've been along this long, they know that that the ship isn't righted 95% of the time.
So for all you, so if there are any people who work for Supreme who check us out, novel idea, pocket protectors. Just saying. Market it. Hello, kiddo.
Hi.
There's also a dog in here.
And a tire.
With his tire. That he doesn't quite know what to do with right now.
He's staring at the wall.
Dude, go.
Swag. Is that the spoils from the other night or on Saturday?
Thank you.
Saturday. What from Saturday?
I'm asking her for clarification.
Look at your podcast.
Oh. Not wearing it tonight.
Mine, I think, is still dirty. It needs to be washed. I need to break it out, though.
Yeah.
My kiddo. Do what?
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 Huh?
What? Huh?
Come again?
We can't hear you.
Stop it!
Type louder.
Yeah.
Just talk, for crying out loud. We can usually hear you.
Yes.
How was that? Oh, we got this shit up. All right, moving on.
Anyhow, back to topic.
On that note,
You're so loud.
did you say I'm that?
Are you guys gonna make it on your logo?
We have the logo.
Help.
Yeah,
Help. Help. There's two
It's
dots.
there.
that's right.
So better half. We will. Yeah, it's. Oh no, that's Dave's head. We will have to have a side conversation with the four of us at some point in the extreme near future, preferably after at least after Christmas. Say yes, better half. Okay. Sound good? Good deal.
She has a remote control she could talk to now. Now I'm going to hear her more often than enough. So
Now we're fools. Okay, then.
that's mild.
Yes, I know.
Why?
Yes, I know.
Why?
I've heard worse. That is for sure.
I am worse.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but
Call it like I see it, G.
I'll take your word for it.
Ugh.
On that note, sponsor for the evening.
Yingling.
Get those.
Did you have to do one of these to double check and make sure what it was there, Dave?
Well, no, it's sort of that glare. Well, yes, I can see now, but again, for someone that doesn't drink all the time, Yingling and Leinenkugels, that's sort of like the same, a lot of the same letters in the font. A bunch of cursive stuff. So,
Sure.
again, I don't know if Leinenkugels has some sort of winter, Christmas, holiday. I don't know. I don't. Trista partakes in the summer candy and then some other that stuff, but I do not. It doesn't sit well with me, and it's beer, so it's a pass. But what I thought the better half was talking about was when I'd said I need Vinny. Why is it the one time I need Vinny to answer his fucking phone? He wasn't answering it, and doing shopping on this past Saturday at Walmart, running into the what the hell's the guy's whoever does the stuff at Walmart, Target.
MJ Holdings.
That's
I was gonna say I should remember seeing all those boxes there, but I was over by wrestling figures, looking there, waiting for people to get the hell out of the way because they're always slow, and then I saw the guy there, and so I went around and came back the other way, and he was leaving. He's like, Vegas, is that Vegas? Is it the Knights sweatshirt on? I'm like, yeah, it's the hockey team. I'm like, yeah, I saw that shit everywhere. So obviously not a hockey fan, so I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, man, that's cool though. So I'm like, okay, that's nice. I saunter on down to the wrestling figures. I see all the Pokemon stuff. I'm like, man, that's what he must have been doing. Is like stocking up that Pokemon in the toy section. So I took a picture for Vinny, thinking, I don't know. Again, all of it's completely foreign to me. I know some names of stuff that's been popular, but I just don't know what's what. So that's why I texted in the group thing saying, of all the times, I'm not calling you guys constantly. Once in a great while, and this is like of semi-importance, and Vinny no answers.
I thought it was the wife.
Well, you should have realized when there's no voicemail that I'm not a big voicemail either.
Okay, time out. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the wow out there just like the better half.
I was walking up the steps in 5 minutes. I'd ask her what she wanted then.
So okay, I'll give you that. But the other question is, how do you not have his freaking phone number programmed in your phone?
My phone was in my pocket and I was typing at the time. So
So it was a long distance away, all the way down there.
there, yeah.
A
And I did.
simple movement of the forearm from.
That's why I would call your phone when I could just yell down to you.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. You
I
yelling,
think it was me, dumbass.
this is true. I don't know because you do those kind of weird things.
Yeah, most of us do more texting than we do calling. This is true. This is true, Cole. This is true.
But this was the time where I'm like, okay, texting's not gonna do the job. I mean, I'll be like, usually if you're calling somebody, it's of some importance on some level. It's not just like, hey, what's going on? So figured I'd call because, like, again, seeing stuff in the wild. I'm not usually around major retail hubs when stuff's going on, so it's a rarity to say the least. So took the picture, picked out a couple things I was gonna get for Naomi. So that was it. I'd already been past the cards when I came in, and so then thank you for clarifying. So then I go back because I'm talking with Vinny. I don't even remember half the stuff we talked about because I was like on here we got off the subject so far in the woods. And I back around the front, I saw him by the cards. I think Vinny was mid sentence, and I'm just like, hey, he's putting up more stuff by the cards up front. And I told him one of the things I had seen, and took pictures and stuff because I was not going to be the greedy people that are like jumping in there before he finishes. Because I'm like, again, whatever I get, I'm going to be happy to get because again, I'm not in these situations. So picked up, I think 4 packs of stuff for Naomi, something else for C, and then 3 Donruss, whatever holiday blaster things football wise. Because the gourmet guy has, I think, like what, a 11-year-old or 12-year-old, and then a 7 or 8-year-old sons, and they collect. He's like, I haven't found anything. And he's going all over creation and then northwest Minnesota, and then like Superior, Wisconsin, Ashland, and that northeast Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, Walmart's, he can't find anything ever. I mean, he's like, oh, there's a lot of Mosaic, there's a lot of Chronicles, there's a lot of shit. And so I'm like, yeah, if you see football anywhere, let me know. So that was the thing I did. I called him right away after checking out, get in the car. I said, hey, they got Donruss football here. I got 2 for you because you wanted 2 if I found them. I said, there's 3 left. Like, well, I'm going to Duluth tomorrow. I may stop by there. I said, you might want to do that now because, again, you just don't see the shit. You got lucky. 6 o'clock Sunday morning, he goes there and they're still there. So he bought them, I think, in archives and something else. But they had like a wild card was there. That's that goofy football, like that what Brian Gray's putting out, or so. I mean, there's stuff and that's no hockey though. That was the problem. So I told him, you find any platinum, pick it up because that's I've seen the one or 2 medals and that's it, and then pretty much nothing else besides like the extended series. So But seeing all that
So-
stuff in the book, I was happy.
I just have to say, pick me, pick me, pick me.
No,
Mr. Merch Pumper, you're doing a shitty job.
Sorry.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
I got to get my check
No.
in the mail before I go all in on the merch pumping.
It's in the mail. I already told you that. It's in the mail
Okay.
somewhere.
Expect a full marketing blitz in the coming weeks.
I think it's coming from Australia though.
So good luck with that.
So
then.
so it may take some time. This time 2022 you may get it. I think.
Okay. I'll hold you to it.
So before we get too much further into the topic, we do have Crypto Griff joining us. Or have we lost that nomenclature for you, Ed? We no
No.
longer crypto. Okay. Just thought I'd ask. You know, it's been a while. I'm surprised he remembers who we are. You know, he has a tendency to forget about us quite frequently. It hurts. I'm giving you shit, Ed. We know
All right.
you've been. Family's been sick. You've been a little sick. I know work's been kind of kicking your ass a little bit. How is the family, by the way? Are they doing better?
Yeah, we're all doing good. We're all doing
Okay.
good. We're finally getting back to right before Christmas, finally getting back to everything being somewhat normal as things get more chaotic.
Of course.
You know, things are ramping up here in Philadelphia, especially with Mr. Omicron going around. So the Flyers their game tonight just got postponed. Then the Eagles, Mr. Goodell putting the fix in on the IRP, moving it to Tuesday night. Like, what the hell? So
Everybody's looking to sabotage us. We're used to it, Ed. Come on. And we're still here. We keep going strong. That's all that matters, right?
damn right.
So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna let Ed. We're gonna blow Ed up, and so he can enjoy in the fun of opening said package from Vinny, since he was unable to join us last week. Not because he couldn't make it. It's because the box didn't show up until the following day. So it kind of hosed that whole plan. But anyways, so stop shaking your head, Dave.
Vinny, like, this was 16 and a quarter, Vinny. What the hell? This thing is, I'm scared. This thing is heavy. This thing has weight. It's like 10 pounds.
Well, if I were you, I'd be a little scared because if you watched last week's episode, you may have kind of gotten an idea. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Which, full disclosure, didn't get around to watching the episode last week. I was just watching the video the week before that. I think it was episode 68. So I'm still slacking. I gotta watch. I'm a week behind.
so you
But I
skipped 69.
I did pre-shing this, like Vinny asked me to. So we got a ton of stuff in here. A ton of stuff. We got a note.
Vinny said we could read them later. I don't know, Vinny. Does that apply
Yeah.
for Ed if he wants
Yeah,
to
we
save
can
time?
read those
Vinny,
later.
I the only thing I gotta say about the note is really nice penmanship.
So I've been told.
Oh,
Ed.
cursive.
So I've been told.
Are things numbered?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
haven't
okay.
checked.
Once
okay,
you
I
get
just-
in there.
Okay. Things
Some
are
of
numbered, Ed.
Vinny, did you go to Catholic school? Because the nuns
Yes.
would appreciate that cursive.
Yes, I did. Ed.
There
They
you
did
go.
appreciate it. Sister Mary Lambert appreciated it as she
We got-
whacked my hands.
Oh, geez. We got a retail hanger here of 2021 Series 1. Let's see. We got some sleeves. Beckett sleeves. Penny sleeves. Remember when the supply chain on all the card stuff was crazy back in 2020, where like a pack of these were selling for like $5-6? Remember that?
Those are a good old fashioned dollar.
I think there was channels here that were telling people to invest in supplies. Allegedly.
Yeah, you got to watch that. You don't want to get sued. But I'm bummed.
Open first. All right, I found it. We got to open second. This one's huge.
That's what she said.
I'll set you guys up. Don't worry. I'll set you all up. We got one here. We got one here. And then we got a box.
That's first, actually, Ed. The little white box.
And we have finally emptied this monstrosity. So, Vinny, go with this one first?
Yep, go with that one first. That's some for your Z Folio.
We got tons of hockey.
You got it. Yeah, you need some hockey in your life, Ed.
Look at all this. Stacks. Little Sean Couturier.
Then shut the back door.
This guy's on Brad's teams now. Jacob Voracek. Travis Konecny. This dude does a lot of talking on the ice. A lot of talking. He's one of those trash talkers. Look at all this hockey. Flyers bombing. Lindros. Look at that. This is cool. Look at this. All-Star Game, Eric Lindros.
There's some 90s stuff for you.
Wow, look at this.
How simple those old cards were, and we were all just like, that's the coolest card I've ever seen. And then something else would come out better, and you're like, that's the coolest card I ever seen.
Carter Hart. Peachy. Oh, here's Stone Cold Steve Mason. They would always play like the Stone Cold theme song when pregame when he was in the ice, when he was behind net. John LeClaire, really underrated flyer in the 90s. Legion of Doom. Nice photography on there.
I never knew the Tops had hockey cup cards until the 2000s.
Donald Brashear. Who hasn't that guy gotten into a fight with?
He could mix it up.
He used to get into a ton of fights whenever the Flyers would play the Penguins, as you know, Vinny.
Yes. That's when we had Aaron Asham.
Rod Brendamore. Here's a name from the 90s. Eric Desjardins.
Little rink collection.
Cece, go brush your
Power
teeth.
play inserts.
Yeah, I was putting that set together.
Another power play. LeClaire. I don't remember. This was 1996. Snow.
Garth Snow.
Rookie.
He was pretty solid back in the day.
Being a goalie, though, I'm sure we ran him out like Ilya Briskalov used to say, if you're a goalie and you're coming to Philadelphia, welcome to hell. Eric Lindros. That's sweet.
It's the first year of finest for hockey. The
Yeah,
first
that's nice.
insert.
Are the refractors from that the same odds as the
No.
baseball?
There's no refractors in that one until finest went on its own. When it was its
Really?
own set, it had refractors.
Oh, here's a cool one. Team Canada there, Eric Lindros.
Yeah, it's one of his
91.
first upper deck. Upper deck because Score had exclusive rights his rookie year.
93, 94. Fleer Ultra. Fleer again. Fleer Ultra. Look at this. Rick Tocchet. Slam.
Steve, lower your voice.
Crunch Crow. Pretty sure that's 93 Leaf because it has the
Yep.
same. No, it's 94. Kind of has almost the same look as the baseball from that year. John LeClaire. Look at that. Looked like he hammer punched that dude. Christ. Rod Brendamore. The great one snuck in here.
Yeah. I threw a few of curveballs in there.
A little bit of the great one. The Goats. John LeClaire.
Go. Who did what?
Something must have happened with the Eagles game. 50 yards, I think. Well, I got to hear him. Oh, Miles Sanders. He ran for 40 yards.
Vinny did say you needed some hockey in your life, so
Yep.
obviously, you have to have some Gretzky.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff's backbowled over the years. That's another set I'm putting together.
I'll take a Gretzky rookie, Vinny.
I don't have that one.
Just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. I'd like to have one, but I think my time has passed.
We got to talk to Bobby now that I found out while the expo was going on, they said there's one with blue lines or something through it that are more sought after than the other.
Dude, look at this card. Ron Hextall, super skills.
Yeah, that's 1 year, and every pack told you what was coming inside.
Eagles are on the 1 yard line, first and goal. Just give the ball to Jordan Howard and run in, please. Simone Gagne. JR.
The Eagles, they'll screw it up.
Up, I think Jalen Hurts ran in. I can hear my brother screaming in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. Keith Primo. Very nice. Yep. Two touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. John LeClaire. Legion of Doom. Oh, I think I showed these ones already. Vinny, you sent so much stuff that I'm mixing up piles.
If you don't want to go through all that white box, those are mostly just like common stuff for the Z Folio, but there's all four sports are in there.
Jordan Howard. Zach Ertz, Deshaun Jackson, Carson Wentz. He still has a very diehard fan base here in Philadelphia. People really love Carson Wentz around here. Gridiron Force Reggie. Another Carson. What do you guys think about the MVP for football this year? Jonathan Taylor. I know running backs never win that award, but what Jonathan Taylor's kind of doing for the Colts, I mean, it's kind of crazy. But I think the odds makers have it's Rodgers 1, Brady, and I think Taylor's 3 right now. But still, it's so hard for a running back to win that award. But what do you guys think?
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams?
I threw some Baltimore stuff in there too.
Mookie?
Yep.
Dude, people are really hating on Mookie Betts. I see videos of like people that, they make card videos, but like they really aren't involved. The brand guys, and they're really shitting on Mookie Betts. Scott Kingery, Reese Hoskins. I love these throwbacks. This freak, Jacob deGrom. The Mets they just hired Buck Showalter,
Yep.
which that's a really solid move for them, in my opinion. And with their rotation, I mean, they're going to be a very dangerous team. The Mets. Christian Yelich, he really needs to start picking it up. Yelich, he's really been regressing. Clayton Kershaw. There's another DeGrom. If DeGrom can stay healthy and that whole Mets rotation stay healthy, there's really no reason why they shouldn't win the East. The Phillies need to start making moves, though. They haven't really done anything. I think they just signed one middle relief pitcher, and that was it. Aaron Altair. Harper and Hoskins. David Hess. He at one point, I think it might have been either 2019 or 2020. David Hess had like a 10 ERA. It was something crazy like that. He couldn't get out like the first or second inning. Dylan Bundy.
Just for you, Ed.
Trey Mancini. Carlos Santana.
Damn it.
This guy, Jake Arrieta. Justin Bohr. Top Spire, Lucas Giolito. I think the Eagles just got an interception. I hear more screaming. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah, we can.
We get loud here on game day.
Or he's watching LA.
Otani. Welcome to Philly. Harper. And Harper.
He was just punching him loud.
Vinny, those are all. I really appreciate all those cards. That's really awesome. I'm going to enjoy going through the Z folio and popping some of those cards in. And I might actually just buy a brand new orange, because I know the Z folio comes in different colors.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if they have an orange one and just load up all those Flyers cards in an orange Z folio. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right, now we're going to do this one. Open first.
And Bobby, it's probably because I haven't been in the market for Gretzky. That's like I just got the OPG Lemieux. I don't even want to think about diving in to get a Gretzky rookie yet. And I'm sure you have mentioned it 20 or so times.
Right on cue, we got a Lemieux from Trilogy. It's a nice looking card.
Look up the man.
Yeah, I definitely need to get a hockey orange color Z folio for all these cards. Another Lemieux from Artifacts. Very nice. Lemieux Upper Deck. Very sweet. Team Canada.
Always got to send Lemieux cards. Putting my collection into everybody else's.
Here's from the 2014 National in Cleveland with the Cleveland in the background there.
Yeah, I thought that one would be good for all the times you went to the National.
That's sweet. I was hearing rumors that the National might actually come back to Cleveland now. I don't know if any of you guys heard that, but there was rumblings on Facebook. Take it at face value, but they were saying that it might come back to Cleveland, which I would like. I thought Cleveland was a great venue for the National.
I think I'd have an easier time going to Cleveland, convincing the better half than anywhere else. Right, better half? Don't shake your head at me. Huh? What? Love you. Bye-bye. Huh?
Lemieux. I love the Fleer Ultras, especially the 90, like around like 92, 93, 94.
Yeah.
Sweet card. With
Bought
the,
out
with the old 90s Pens outfit there. And then we have...
Dang, how many Lemieux cards did I send you? I didn't even realize it.
You sent me a shit ton.
I figured you needed to start your hockey collection, probably. Might as well start with somebody good other than the Flyers.
Lemieux. Well, at least it's Lemieux. At least it's not Crosby, because people don't like Crosby here. Even though the dude's a beast. I mean, I've gone to a couple Flyers Pens game, and boy, oh boy, people really don't like that guy. They go ape shit over Crosby, especially here.
Better half. Do you like Sidney Crosby? I'll take that non-audible flipping me off as a sign of no. He's not very well liked in Detroit either.
And we got number 2 here. This one is bigger than number 1.
Number 2 should always be bigger than number 1.
I was waiting for it.
See, I'm setting it up. I'm leaving you easy opportunities here to make a bunch of well-timed jokes. We got a press proof of Ryan Matthews. This is right up my alley because I love getting the Eagles who are maybe a little more obscure and don't have a lot of Eagles cards. So this is like something that would be like really difficult for me to track down. He actually did pretty decent with the Eagles, Ryan Matthews. I know he was with the Chargers for many years, but he did pretty well with us. Brent Selleck, big fan favorite for the Eagles. Spent his whole career here on the Super Bowl team. Very nice card.
Eric, it's an extension of last week since Ed's packets got caught and hung up in the Lehigh Valley. So
Nelson Aguilar, now in the Patriots, catching passes from Mac Jones. I don't know. Eagles fans always hate on Nelson Aguilar. He really did not do well with Carson Wentz, but whenever Nick Foles was in there, he did really well. And he was really, really good in the playoffs for us, and he did pretty damn well in the Super Bowl. So sometimes I don't necessarily get the hate on Nelson Aguilar. I thought he was pretty solid. And then we got Jaws, Ron Jaworski. He's still involved around a lot here on local radio shows and stuff, and the local news networks doing pre and post game stuff for the Eagles. That's numbered at a 398.
I remember C pulled that one.
How long ago was that?
Whatever year that was, like 2017 maybe.
2016.
Yeah, that's when we were.
That's a long time ago.
That's when we were first getting into it. I was just starting to watch YouTube, and I probably bought a blaster of it just to test the waters.
Jay Ajayi, another guy. I think this photo's from the Super Bowl. Oh, no, it's not. Cowboys are in the background. Jay Ajayi, another member of the Super Bowl team for the Eagles.
We got a lot of press proofs out of those sets that were Eagles. I think I sent them all to you.
Jordan Howard, red. He's been really good for the Eagles this year. He didn't even make the team. He was like a practice squad guy that they just signed. And he comes in and he was just like trucking people over. I'm like, how do you go from not even being signed on a team to like getting signed and just like absolutely trucking dudes in the NFL? And I think he's our leading Russian touchdown guy, but besides Jalen Hurts. So that's pretty crazy. JJ Redick, green. I think he's in the podcast. He's doing like podcasts now. JJ Redick.
Probably on Tuesday nights.
Probably. Bastard. JT Real Muto. That's definitely some type of insert.
It's some kind of parallel.
Yeah.
I got like a lot of them for $1 from TNT because I like Real Muto.
JT. DJ Stewart. That's numbered. That's Bowman paper, blue. We got Ryan Howard, who's on the Hall of Fame ballot this year. I'll be surprised if he gets, well, he'll probably get a couple votes, but he's definitely not going to get 5%. Injuries just kind of ruined him, even though he started off incredible. Bryce Harper, Turkey Red. I've never seen this card before. Donruss, this is an insert. Zach Ertz, who's on the Cardinals now. Another Zach Ertz, blue. And then we got a Bryce Harper game day ticket from Contenders. Nice. We got another stack here. We got a little Flyers action. John LeClaire. Has some crazy stuff going here on the back.
Yeah, it's one of the bounty cards.
Sweet looking card. Oh wow. We got a Young Stars numbered out as 749 acetate of Carter Hart. That's sweet. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I did that. I said it was acetate, and then I'm like waving with my hand there. Then we got another Future Stars, numbered out of 449. Zamula. Zemula. Igor. Very cool. Captain Claude Giroux. I know he gets a hard. Sometimes the fans get on him. That's numbered out of 999, but I forget the stat on Claude Giroux, but I think it's from. I want to say it's like from 2006 or 2007. Out of the entire NHL, the top points leader is Ovechkin, Crosby, and then number 3 is Giroux. So, dude's definitely had a very nice career. Just looking for the elusive cup. Simone Gagne. Hockey's so hard to win now. Out of all the, in my opinion, out of the 4 major sports, I feel like that's the hardest to win. Simone Gagne. Bobby Clark. It's a beautiful looking card. Awesome. Then we still got way more bricks over here. There's so much stuff that Vinny sent. This is so ridiculous.
That's me. I'm ridiculous.
We got open third and open last. Let's open this one.
You got Will Guy. I got Tim, the hockey guy, with the best value boxes around.
What, you call him Tape Guy?
No, his name's Tim,
Oh, Tim.
and his he calls his business Just Hockey, and he has his showcases and his value boxes. His value boxes are the best, but his showcases are full with just about every hockey rookie you could think of is in that case, between future watches, young guns, and then he goes pre-90s back into the 70s. So he was at the Boston show the last time they had it. He said he tore it up. He said he likes going to cities where there's a big hockey presence because he can really do well. So
we have a couple dealers that do hockey. There's a couple dealers that do the Neshaminy show that I always go to. There's a dealer that does hockey only, and he really has a lot of nice stuff. The problem is his prices sometimes are kind of, but he gives good discounts and all, but sometimes his prices are pretty high. But he doesn't sell anything graded. It's all raw. I should probably buy some. Last show I went to, he had a really cool Carter Hart Young Guns. I probably should have bought that. Look at this die cut action. Stanley Cup Heroes. Reggie Leach. Look at that.
It's 99, 2000.
That's 2002.
Oh,
2002.
they must have did it again in 2002. Probably for the whole Philadelphia team.
Look at that. One of the big enforcers of the Broad Street Bullies. Mr. Dave Schultz. That's a beautiful looking card. And then to top it off, look at that. All 3 of these. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to put those ones in the Z. I think I'll put those. We gotta get those in the Flyers box. Those look really cool. I want to look at those regularly. Claude Giroux. Will Guy does do hockey. Very, very little, but he does do a little. But he does have some hockey. He even has soccer sometimes. He does everything. He's a jack of all trades, master of none.
Except the wheel.
He wasn't at the last two shows. I was so bummed out. A lot of the guys that I normally buy from weren't there. I don't know what the deal was, but normally there's only one show in the winter, and they did two in November and December. The December show I went to, I didn't even do a recap video for it. It was so strange. There was only about like 10 card dealers, and I only recognized 4 or 5 of them. And then there was people selling jewelry, like plastic jewelry, and people selling pillows, and then what you normally get in the mall, like those electronic dealers where they're selling like the race cars or like there's like little flying helicopters. Eric Lindros. So I'm like, I think I bought like maybe like 3 Soto cards that were just like $2, $3, and $1. I'm like, I'm not even going to make a recap for this.
Were the people selling helicopters out of New Jersey that just opened up a second shop?
I see what you did there. No.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, no.
Because I bet you they'd be selling homemade clothes too.
Maybe like fanny packs?
Well,
Maybe those?
European satchels of some sort.
Can
Or
we
maybe
get a shirt that says good deals only?
Well, they don't know about that because obviously look at their haircuts.
Or maybe a shirt that says I appreciate you, bro?
'Tis the season for appreciation.
Eric Lindros. Lindros.
When Fleer Ultra decided to call everything a rookie.
Donruss. It's Donruss. There's I saw somebody post on Facebook. They think Donruss is 2 words. And they make that distinction. I think they were pronouncing it Don, slight pause, then Russ. I'm like, no, guys, it's hobby expert here. It's 1 word.
Sort of like Bauman.
No. You're thinking of they called it bone mean.
Yeah.
Like it was some kind of cuisine.
I distinctly remember Bauman.
Bone mean. Ron Hextall.
Speaking of Bowman,
Lindros. All-Star game.
I figured I'd bolster up your Lindros collection between you and Bob.
Here's one of those finest.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
Rob Ramage is chosen out of all the players in the NHL to get your first finest card, it's quite interesting. Who should we put on? I don't know. Rob Ramage.
Lindros.
Apparently, I gave you 2.
You did. Rick Tocchet. 9. The baseball equivalent to this for the O-Pee-Chee, I think it's 92. No, this is 91. But 92, 91 or 92 baseball O-Pee-Chee, that stuff is everywhere.
So is that hockey.
Ron Hextall. That's why I was like, Carlos brought that point up in one of his videos, but like all the people, all like the newer people that keep saying, "Oh, it's going to be the junk wax era 2.0." It's like, guys, you do understand that like 91 Donruss and 91 Upper Deck or 89 OPG, like there's pallets of that stuff still in warehouses that'll probably be around for like another 50 to 100 years, still sealed. It is a beautiful card. Like that stuff's not going anywhere. It's never going to get that crazy again. Metal Universe, Travis Konecki. Carter Hart. I almost bought some metal yesterday at Walmart. They had a couple boxes. I didn't pick it up though. I think they were like $30.
Wow.
I'm
That's
like,
$5. $5 than they were before. They were $24.99.
yeah, and that Walmart, it was not a Walmart I normally go to. It was one in South Jersey in like a farming town, they had like a huge sign over there that said, and it was underlined, no refunds on any card purchases. So, Stone Cold Steve Mason. And there's another one of those cup cards, Stanley Cup Heroes. So that was awesome. Thank you, Vinny.
Yep.
We got one final stack here. Let's see what the Eagles are doing. They're almost in the red zone. 2nd and 1. Oh, they just got the first down by giving it to Jordan Howard. Dude, football on Tuesday is so weird. It is really weird.
Football on Tuesday is like a meet and greet gone wrong.
And I think we lost him. He froze.
My humor killed him.
No, your pre-humor killed him.
Well,
All right, we're going to do that briefly. We'll see if he comes back.
Wowed him so much that was it. Knocked everything over and even after those pallets that 91 Don was toppled on him, like an RKO from out of nowhere.
No, NFL on Saturdays through the holidays, kind of used to that because that's the start of playoff season. So football on Tuesday, that's definitely a weird thing. I will agree.
I still don't like Thursday night either. That used to
Yeah, but at
always
least there's only a few games.
that always used to be like the start of the college football weekend. ACC used to be on there pretty much exclusively. And then when you start pushing before the season, the NFL season, when you have like I don't know, some game usually at the Cowboys Stadium for college football, like a Monday night. And like, I don't want to see USC and I don't know, Texas A&M there or LSU. I mean, neither team is even in the state. Why do you have it at Texas Stadium? I know you can get more fans in there. That's great, but it just doesn't make any sense. I don't like Monday night. Monday night's for NFL, not college. Any return?
I'm back. Stupid Wi-Fi went out. I got disconnected. I had to reconnect. I had to reset the router. Comcast sucks.
No.
All right. We're back on the final one here, the final countdown. All right. Let's open all these stacks. We got Jake Arrieta. My little buddy, Jake Arrieta.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Oh my God. This dude had a 70 ERA and he got pissy at the Chicago Cubs beat writers who were asking him. They asked a fair question. They were like, do you think this could be the end? Like, because he is older, like, and he couldn't get anyone out. He's like, my stuff is the most elite in the league. Top of the line. I'm like, obviously he's not going to throw him. I mean, he's obviously not going to criticize, like, or say, oh, yeah, I'm done. I'm cooked or whatever. But to say, no, my stuff's the best in the league. Like, dude, are you high? Alec Bowman. That's the green. Number down 99. Nolan Arenado, the GOAT. Incredible, as Bald Rhino always says. The Eagles just kicked the field goal. 20-10. Nolan Arenado with his candy cane. I wonder how many of these Bald Rhino has slabbed. Probably a lot. I don't know if you guys ever watch Bald Rhino.
On occasion.
Nope.
He's funny. I like him. I met him at the 2018 National. He's a nice guy. Reese Hoskins. Throwback 35th anniversary. We got a little Shohei Ohtani here. Shohei Ohtani Rookie Cup. And the Holiday. Dave, do you like Topps Holiday?
I like going to get gas at holiday gas stations. And I don't know. It's something. If I couldn't find anything else, I wouldn't mind busting it. But at the same time, it's for me, it's more of a kid-centric type product where you get candy canes and mistletoe and the garland and whatever else that's in there. Again, it's fun to look at that stuff in the same vein. It's
Who's
definitely
eating that also?
kid-centric.
Maybe they should start including toilet flower cards and horseshoes and rainbows and unicorns.
Look at that. Shohei Ohtani hitting a moonshot off his fellow countryman, Yusuke Kikuchi. I was like, who's the pitcher there? I had to look.
Looks like Byung-Han Kim.
It's a pretty cool card if you're a Japanese card collector.
I don't know any of those.
Shohei Ohtani. We got a Roberto Alomar. I think that's from Tier 1.
Look like triple threads.
That's what. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's triple threads.
It's all the same design.
Alomar, Hall of Famer, but he did not get in first ballot because of spin on the umpire.
He did what we all want to do. Good for him.
Come on, Ed. Andrew McCutcheon.
He looks like he's running like I run.
Running to the bathroom.
Pretty much. Like a power step holding them cheeks together.
After eating many chicken sandwiches.
and a couple bowls of wild rice soup. I mean, you're praying.
Oh God. Oh Lord. We got the process, Joel Embiid. Had a monster game last night, 40 points. Shout out to Andy, sports card investigator.
Is that his name? I thought it was Sports Card Investor.
No, that's another feller.
That's the one I think everybody knows. If I read my internet right.
That's the guy that I think you want him to be on Topps flagship, was it 2022?
I want him to be on every product possible.
Certified. You know, eventually they'll probably be in Allen and Ginter, right?
Oh, I can't wait. You're going to have the whole gang there. It's just going to be like a group picture. It'll be like the rookie photo shoot when you have everybody there.
Season
the
ticket.
class clown reunion.
Tani.
I can't wait till they make their own cards of themselves and sell them at shows. That's going to be next level. Then they're going to say it's revolutionary, and then nobody will know it's like tube traders. And
I was just going to say that. I was like, well, we used to make our own cards, but we didn't sell them.
Well, they will because they appreciate people.
Juan Soto nickname variation. Juanjo.
That should say Sodust.
It should. That's a good one. Sodus.
Make your own cards. Sell them.
There's another one. Bowman. Many more eyes on Soto now. Many more eyes on Soto.
Yeah, because of you.
Definitely not me. No one watches my shit.
Lies. Fucking lies.
More people watch your shit than ours.
Claude Giroux, relic. Nice. Did you see South Park did a whole episode about NFTs? I was going to post that in the group chat. I know Carlos probably definitely saw that. Zach Ertz. Blitz. And the final card here. We are at the end of the line, I believe. Scott Rowland relic. Future Hall of Famer. Curious to see what he does on the ballot. He keeps going up every year. I think last year he was on maybe 55%. So maybe he gets into the high 60s this year and get in next year. I don't know, though. The Hall of Fame, there's certain guys that I think are going to, should be a lock to get in, like Dick Allen, and they don't get in. And then there's some of the voting is really, really bizarre. There was a guy who submitted a blank ballot this year for protesting for the steroid guys. Then there was a steroid PED supporter who just voted for the PED guys and didn't vote for anyone else. So that shit's weird. It's getting harder and harder, I feel, every year to try to predict who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, except for the automatic, like, shoe-in lock guys.
And even then, every Hall of Fame ballot has a lot of questions. Every Hall of Fame out there has a lot of questions. So, I mean, that's what you have to deal with. Questionable entries everywhere.
Like, I've been checking that Hall of Fame tracker, and like, I don't want to sound like a homer, but to me, Jimmy Rollins is definitely a Hall of Fame type of player. He's not a first ballot guy. I think he'll take a couple years to get in. But I feel like he's definitely a Hall of Fame caliber player. But he's doing he needs 16 more votes to at least get 5% to be on next year. And I know it's super early. There's only a couple, there's about 40 ballots in, but I'm like, he's not trending too good. And whenever I watch other people even talk about the Hall of Fame, they gloss him over really quickly. And it was weird because when I went to the Hall of Fame this year, I was with Mike O, and I made a comment. I'm like, when we were standing by Barry Larkin's plaque, I said, "Oh man, Barry Larkin got in. Jimmy Rollins is definitely going to get in because their numbers are pretty comparable." And some dude in a Ryan Sandberg jersey just got so offended that I even said that. He's like, "Barry Larkin, it was way better than Jimmy Rollins." I'm like, dude, Jimmy Rollins had a really good career, man. He wasn't way better. I think average is the only difference between the two. I think Barry Larkin maybe hit for 20 points higher on average. Otherwise, Gold Gloves, MVPs, World Series, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. They're pretty similar. And he's like, "You're crazy, man. You're crazy." I'm like, I don't want to be a homer, but he's like, and then he's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Philadelphia." He's like, "Well, of course you think Jimmy Rollins is a Hall of Famer." I'm like, dude, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be a homer, but I think he'll definitely eventually get in. But who knows? Maybe I am biased. I don't know.
No, I think he's got a good chance to get in. I wish Abreu had a chance, but I don't think he will.
He's trending upward, Bobby Abreu, though, Dave. He's been getting some decent support.
I could see him being like a vets committee guy many moons from now.
He definitely was a really good player.
He had some stupid numbers, but he had a bunch of shit around him. That was the problem.
Yeah. He was on a lot of really awful teams. I think the only time he was on like a really decent team was probably the Yankees or like the 2003 Phillies and the 04 Phillies were good, but the late 90s Phillies were trash.
Ooh,
that's why Scott Rowland wanted to get the hell out of there.
I'm always surprised that Philadelphia residents wasted batteries on J.D. Drew.
I think it was one guy just threw the batteries.
Oh, it's got to be more than that. I would have thrown him. I hated him. There's right in that time frame. There's so many of those guys that decided not to sign because Travis Lee got drafted by the Twins. He didn't sign, and I know there's one or two other big time prospects or high draft picks that said, you know what? I'm going to go either play independent ball or just not. I'll just sit out. Like, really? Why? Again, nowadays it doesn't matter. It's Christ, you get traded after 2 weeks anyway. So I hope with this new, whenever they decide the collective bargaining thing, that that will be something that changes. The draft picks can get traded, or it's immediate that you can trade these people, not wait. Again, I don't think the wait is a year anymore. I think it's 6 months. But still, if you make a mistake, your scouting does shitty, whatever, and somebody's like, well, we've seen enough even after 20, 30 games. Like, this guy just doesn't fit our whatever we're looking for. Trade him. Regret it down the road. Who cares? But especially if it's like a team like the Yankees or somebody contending, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, if you want to get somebody a rental, a non-rental, trade that first round guy, that second round guy, whoever the supplementary rounds. So I hope that changes. But I hope it's not like, oh, Pittsburgh trades like the number 1 pick, the number 36 pick, and like the 63rd pick to the Detroit Tigers for Rene Rivera, David Hale, and David Robertson. Like, really? No. This isn't like some video game where you're screwing your like slow friend out of like picks or players.
I feel bad for any Vinny. I'm sure you're a Pirates fan, but I feel bad for any Pirates fan that lives in Western Pennsylvania. I feel like that team is absolutely allergic, or that ownership or front office is absolutely allergic to spending any type of money. It's real bullshit. Like, they never do anything. I think the only move that they made was they signed ex-Phillies pitcher Jared Eichhoff, who like he got like DFA from the Phillies. Like, And they've had good players, I would say, over the last decade.
We sell them for cash.
Yeah, like, and they're always just getting rid of everyone, getting rid of everyone. I mean, Bob Lewis will tell you they just like Austin, like they've done some atrocious trades too.
That's been the Rangers for the last 10 years. This is the first year they've actually spent money
Yeah, they
in
spent
10 years.
Corey Seager heading to the ranch, Steve.
And from what I've heard, it's speculation. They're actually not done yet either.
No, because they got what Jonathan Gray and then Marcus Simeon too.
Yep.
They got a good offense too, like Garcia for them. Aldous Garcia, he was doing really good. Solak's not bad. He's definitely a serviceable major leaguer. He's in every hobby product. He's not hobby. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to have any merit in the hobby, but he's definitely a pretty solid player for real life baseball. And then who else do they have?
I couldn't even tell you because I stopped watching them for years when they started getting rid of everybody.
I've known they had Delino DeShields Jr. like on and off for a couple years. He would be the guy that you go on the waiver wire for fantasy baseball to try to get a stolen base.
I mean, they got rid of Andrews, they got rid of Odor, they got rid of freaking Gallo. They're younger guys, I would say. I mean, Andrews is no longer a young guy. From an age perspective, he's still young, but not as a major leaguer. But it's just like every time you turn around, you think they're doing something worth a damn in the farm system and all this other kind of stuff. And next thing you know, you're going, okay, what the hell happened? Who are these people?
What's his name? Isaiah, Kiner Falefa or whatever.
Ah, that's right. Kiner Falefa.
Wiz
Yeah, he's
Khalifa,
like-
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's a
Utility guy.
at least a Gold Glove caliber infielder, and if they got to put him at catcher, he can catch. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes amongst all these roster shuffling.
The Pirates like to show off their guys for 1 to 3 years, show them to the whole league, show what their potential are. Look, he could play third, he could play outfield, he could play first base. I had him catch, even pitched a game. See, he's versatile. Now, how much money are you going to give? Give me these two guys and $2.5 million, and the $2.5 million doesn't go back to the team.
No,
The $2.5 million goes into the owner's pocket, and then he does whatever with it. It's the worst, hands down, the worst ownership in baseball.
I agree with that.
And what's his name wanted to buy him? The dude from the Mavericks, Cuban.
The
And
Rangers
he's
are a
like-
close second. Just throwing that out there.
and Cuban wanted to buy him, and nothing. They would not sell. So, I mean, they have a brand new ballpark. Well, not brand new, but it's beautiful ballpark. They can last them for the next 10 to 15 years. All you need to do is sell. But
I think it has something to do with that damn shared MLB shared revenue that went into effect like a decade or so ago. So teams like the Pirates, the Rays, all the teams that have low attendance or they don't put a lot of money onto the product onto the field, they'll get money from the teams that do draw a lot.
well, you think you'd put that back in the team. What a thought.
Shit is annoying.
It ain't going back in the team. I can tell you that for certain.
Well, since the Rangers just built the new stadium, ownership finally realized it's like, maybe we ought to try and put a winning team on the field. Maybe, perhaps, allegedly.
The Phillies actually play down there next year in that new stadium.
have you been invited by anybody in Texas to go watch?
Mike-O was Mike-O has a thing where he goes to every baseball stadium. So he went to the old one in Arlington, and he hasn't been to the new one, obviously, since it just opened up to the public this year. So since the Phillies were playing there, he was thinking about going down there. And I was like, dude, if you go down there, I might be interested in going because that would be a pretty cool trip.
I might. We have a friend that lives around the corner. He actually is a security guard at the stadium, and he gets tickets from time to time. So I can put out a feeler, Ed, if you're willing to make the trip.
Definitely, I might be thinking about it. I have to see where things line up with the national and other trips and stuff like that, and then budgeting for all that type of thing. But that's definitely in the cards.
I'll at least put a feeler out there and talk to him and see exactly how that works for him, because I don't know specifically how many tickets he gets, how frequently he can get tickets, and stuff along those lines. Still have to pay to park, which is like $50.
Damn, that much in Texas?
Yes.
Damn.
Go to Jerry World, man. If you actually park in the parking lot, it's $100.
Holy
Wow.
shit. That's
Everywhere
highway
else, all the other side businesses and other buildings and stuff that allow you to park, it's still $40 to park.
See, is the stadium's in a busy area though?
It's right off the highway.
Okay. See, I'm spoiled. In Philly, we have we have what we call the stadium district, and it's in just like a factory. They're all the stadiums are in factory areas where there's just tons of parking. So parking's always like $20. The most expensive parking here for the Eagles on game day is like $30. So you never have to pay a lot for parking.
Same here same in Minneapolis. I mean, I don't know about the XL, but I know Target Field, Target Center are near each other, and then the Metrodome / whatever US Bank is probably 5 blocks away. And you've got a lot of the high rises, and then get down here. So there's plenty of parking ramps, and usually it's 10, 15 for a ramp, maybe 20 for like a regular parking lot spot. But yeah, it's $100. I'd walk a couple miles to go to a game. I ain't paying $100 for that. It's like staying at a ranch in the middle of nowhere and thinking you're gonna come out alive.
That's why we need the IRP merch by then, because by then, if we have the IRP merch, I can bring the IRP merch to said ranch.
Oh God, if you go there, I don't know. You might have to disown you. Unless you start fires there. You could be Rammstein, a fire starter.
Yeah, it'd definitely be used for kindling. I can almost guarantee it.
That would be a good idea. An IRP lighter. That just came to me. Make it happen. Make it happen, men. IRP lighter.
Vinny's taking notes.
Shot glasses, whiskey glasses, beer steins. I mean, somebody else may have done the beer stein. I don't know. I can't recall, but
IRP the flamethrower.
It's a beer glass, Dave. It wasn't a beer stein. Go, go, go.
Or was that no?
Somebody, hold on. Yeah, check it here on my phone. Jalen Rager, 35 yards. I think I'm going to try to watch a little bit at the end of the game, so I'm going to probably pop off, fellas.
No worries.
understandable.
All I want for Christmas is my IRP flamethrower.
And
It's on the
Blaster
list.
2020 Series 1 tops. If you can find them. I've allegedly pallets of those went up in flames. Like a blaze of glory.
Blaze of Glory is right. IRP barbecue pit. Flamethrower, please. All right, guys. Take care. And Vinny, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Take
Hit the
care,
wrong
guys.
button.
Later, Ed.
Yeah.
I play with fire multiple times a day. I don't get burnt. Just saying. However, it could get interesting. Paul, content, or maybe perhaps evidence, allegedly. Who is it? Alex something. Maybe
Galagas.
not.
Go.
But I really like that. I like that jersey. That's one of my favorite jerseys to see on a card. I wish there were more. But that was like a whopping $14 shipped. Like 8 plus 4, and then whatever tax and whatnot. Finally, I was like, you know what? He's from Grand Rapids, hour and change away. I watched him in high school. Why not? I won't go full screen for the Corbin Burns right on his dick. So cock and balls. PSA 9 rookie auto. That was dumb cheap. And then this one, I've already got this. Here's our segue. Semi segue, I should say. This was a Good Deals Only version. Mr. Jack Tatum.
Precipice Legends.
Yeah. Who has a dearth of autos out there. And red ink, which is always one of my favorites. I had bought one off of one of the guys on Instagram. I think Tyler Sports Card or something. He's got a shit ton of nice stuff. But I got that one like a couple years ago, I think. For I want to say $80 shipped. And again, this is somebody when you're looking for this type of stuff, you don't see Jack Tatum autos floating around a lot. Maybe some in person something or another, but certified issues, there are very few. So to get that for $22, I was quite happy. And I know there's one for Mr. Robert Louis that I won't show, but I think I got that one for like $3, and I know it's something I'm guessing he doesn't have.
That would be the Troy Show and the Elks. The Elks is usually where I go after the dollar boxes, the discount boxes, and the Troy Show is usually when he doesn't have those boxes. He just has the showcases. But he's also known as the Future Watch Young Guns guy. That was his original name before I got to know him. So he's got beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Nice dude. Makes you a deal. And it's hard to believe if you buy more out of the boxes, he gives you a better deal.
What?
No way.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
Are we going to drop Revelations yet again?
Oh. I'm verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Buying more from a box, you get a better deal.
It's so rudimentary that, it's been going on since 1989.
You're making progress, Vinny. You're making
Uh,
progress.
Hey, only to live up to the standard of Carlos. What can I say?
72%,
Effort.
that's basically passing in most classes. So
Hey, I'll
that's
take
what
it.
you ask for.
I'll take it.
This is true, Dave. This is true. So on to the segue. Since you so politely called it out specifically.
Well, that was in the stuff I'm going to still show off with the other pile O cards, but it's interesting too with us. We sort of know what we collect to a good degree. So if the Terrell Davis stuff isn't coming in, you've either got, okay, let's say Broncos stuff that you may or may not want to pick up. You've got other cards that you're looking at picking up, filling some runs. Vinny, he's just picking up, I wouldn't say good deals only, but he's always looking for cool stuff, eye-catching stuff to him, or setting up traps down the road for other folks to open like 18-pound boxes of stuff. So you don't just sit there and be like, okay, no Dennis Northcutt, which it's his birthday today. So
We don't care.
Cloudy with chance of meatballs.
What?
So
I don't have my glasses on. I couldn't see that. Are you hitchhiking?
no, those are windshield wipers
Oh, okay.
to wipe the tears from your eyes.
Ay, ay, ay.
But if we don't see something of our main collection, it's not like we're sitting there and like, well, this is a fucking boring hobby now, or we've said it before, zigzag, all that other shit. But this is one where you want to. Again, we don't have to divulge secrets. You're putting the set together, so that's what you're looking at. You're trying to,
Yep.
but it also keep you hobby, even if you're not relevant to what's going on today, which you still are. You look here, you look there. Vinny consumes more of that content and knowledge than anyone. I've tried to quit it cold turkey because I just can't stand them fuckers. But I want to know how folks go through the drought when it's like, man, there's no Terrell Davis, and because even after a while, you for me, it's like, bro, dear, okay, there's something here I really don't want to buy, but you almost like an addict, you want to get that fix of whatever it is. It's like, okay, I'll buy the E-tops for like $12. Okay, do I really want it for 12? No, I'd rather get it for like 6. But you lose it a few times, and then you're like, I haven't seen anything pop up or nothing within reason. Or you're going without, like for you, Steve, you're going from 15 back mostly for TD. So like, let's say you see a 2019 something, you're like, I really don't like it a super lot. I mean, I like it. It doesn't fit the brackets more than I want to pay. Then maybe you hit it and you're like, some of that buyer's remorse, because again, if it's not what you're looking for specifically, I don't say it becomes a detriment to collecting, but because you like it, and eventually, hopefully, you get something like, let's say, something to 5, 10, 15, whatever the case may be. But then you start like, well, the negatives. I really don't need this card now. It doesn't fit what I really am collecting or gearing my collection towards. And that money could have been used to fill out 70 cards for the set, 60. Maybe a big rookie, two big rookies, whatever the case may be. So that's I'm curious to put it out there how we
Well,
all sort of deal with the whatever drought of our main PC.
TD is out there because they keep putting them in products. Of course, that is newer stuff, as you kind of alluded to. He's in Spectra this year. I like Spectra. I like Spectra a lot. I think they're pretty cards. Of course, you've got 15 million and a half parallels, which always makes things a little excessive, to say the least. And he's got some autos. As everybody knows, I stay away from the jersey pieces and patches because everything that they put out for him these days is player worn. And I just can't justify the expense. It's just one of those things. We've said it before. Game used is the way to go. I know that's another new revelation for everybody, but the fact that everything these days seems to be player worn is getting ridiculous. Vinny actually sent me a card a couple days ago that was recently pulled out of Flawless. I think it's the B or the R in the Broncos off the chest plate. Number to 5, on card auto out of Flawless. Player worn. Beg your pardon? This is Flawless. This is your top of the line product and you're putting player worn garbage in it. There's a problem. I get it. TD didn't play a whole lot of NFL seasons. There's not a whole lot of game use stuff out there. Maybe he's unwilling to give up more of his stuff. But if that's the case, stop putting memorabilia pieces in product.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're setting that standard for certain players, for Hall of Fame players, then at what point is that going to be the same for, other Hall of Fame players? People, in my opinion, are going to have a hard time justifying $1,400, $1,500 a briefcase for Flawless, knowing that 60% of it's player worn garbage. I don't get it. But I digress. Soapbox retract off the player worn. But there's one seller who put quite a bit of stuff out there. Vinny and I were texting back and forth. Of course, I had to, tell him, keep your mouth shut. Don't go tell your wife. This isn't for you to go look at anything. This is not for you to send to my wife. It's like, the guy put out some nice stuff, and he's the TD collector. And, I reached out to him. His seller ID, I think, is TD card collector. I think is his actual, eBay username. And, I reached out to him. I was like, hey, are you planning on listing anything else? Are you looking to get out of is that your main focus? Asking questions, trying to create conversation. Because it's one of those in which I try and at least create some sort of conversation with any Terrell Davis collector. I'm not repeating anything. When they start listing a bunch of stuff. Because I hate it in the event that they're actually looking to leave the hobby. But at the same time, if I can get my foot in the door and at least start having conversations, maybe I can actually get some cards from them before, they start, just throwing it all out there. I didn't give any specifics, better half, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. But not to mention you don't know which ones either. Ha ha. Anyways, and Vinny only knows about 2, 3. One of them actually ended up he pulled it before anybody made an offer or whatever. I guess he decided against it. But it's one of those in which, yes, I always do the searches. Yes, there's a lot of things out there that I need. I hate to use the term want, but I need to fill gaps in the collection. But as of right now, it's because we're still in the holiday season. It's not in the cards. It hasn't been in the cards for the last couple of months.
Mhm.
I bid on something last night and lost, which is fine. Not that I went all in on something. I expected to lose, but it's one of those in which if I won it for good deals only, then would have been all good. But I lost, and it is what it is. But I've really tried to kind of sink my teeth back in to try and close off some of these sets that I've been, working on
See, it's 10
for
o'clock.
years
What do you
and kind of had ignored them, and to just try and quote unquote mark something off the list, so to speak, even though you guys know I really don't keep a list. But I'm now down to only needing 7 cards for the 2002 Chrome set. I picked off all the low hanging fruit, picking them up for $1, and they're all rookies. Granted, most of them aren't worth a damn, but at the same time, it fills substantial gaps. So
Yeah.
I went from to start the year, I think I was at 80 something, and I'm now down to 7. So good progress from that perspective. I haven't looked at any of the other sets really. I have, but I haven't. The cards are not in the cards. Did I say that? Possibly. I am tired.
Allegedly.
Shit happens, right? But there's still there's a small handful of sets that I keep looking up, and I'd rather actually buy them complete than try and fill the gaps, because filling the gaps on a few of them would probably cost me more than just dropping 80, 90, $100 and calling it a day. But it's got to be in the budget. And like I said, with it being holidays, it's not in the cards, so to speak, next year. So we'll see. And of course, I still have all my insert sets that I haven't even bothered to checklist and start looking at filling some of those gaps. And those, of course, span baseball, football, and basketball. So that's pretty much where I am these days.
Lenny?
It's either feast or famine lately. So 2 weeks ago, a little over 3 weeks ago, I had a vein, and it was Lemieux aplenty. And now, last 4 or 5 days, nothing. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do next. So I'm starting to put lists together of sets that I want to finish. So much like Steve, that route.
Mm-hmm.
Then last week was the Troy show. I didn't go. I kind of skip it during December, but even then, I have my pattern, and most of the time I hit those certain places, I grab the certain cards that I want to get, and that's that. But even now, those cards are starting to dry up that I've been grabbing. So, am I going to come to a point where going to the show is basically see if they have supplies, see if they have boxes, and see if anybody new's there to pick up from?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that show in particular. Sometimes you can get fire though, because there's one guy that's over in the corner and he brings stuff that's every time it's different. So you might get boxes. There was a dude there this last time. He was selling $15 boxes of old junk wax. Anything you want at $15. So there's an opportunity for me to get some old wax.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to go because you never know. But my pattern is going to change over time. If I go and see that there's nothing in those boxes that I've gone through pretty thoroughly over the last 2 years, it's going to be stop, once around. So my time from an hour in there is going to get dropped down to check, boom. Anything box wise, nope, grab the supplies and go. So my time's going to get cut down. Now, the Elk Show, which is only on Sundays for a couple hours, that's where I go dig through those value boxes. So that's still, I could probably dig through those another 5 or 6 times if he keeps reloading them.
Mm-hmm.
If he's reloading them every time, which it doesn't seem like I'm running into an issue yet. So as long as those keep getting reloaded, I'm good. And then I'll do a once around. The supply guy comes to that show and go from there. But when I'm at a show, I don't think last thing usually is Lemieux because there's not going to be a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I pick up the baseball. I pick up the football. I pick up hockey guys that are out of my normal scope. I try to go into the 80s because I know a guy there that has 80s stuff it's original. It's not like it's been messed with. So I go through all that. But that's when I put my other collector hat on. I think the shows for me is a different opportunity to grab things that I normally wouldn't grab.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go to the one that's farther downriver, the Taylor show, which I go maybe once a year, that one has probably the most unique spread of wax to singles. But again, it's a 45-minute drive to get down there, and you kind of want to be going there for some other reason, not just to go down there.
Yeah.
But that's card show wise. But anything else, I'm trying to concentrate really on sets. I'm putting that list together. I got this book with the Lemieux. I got this with the sets, and that's what I'm going to try to concentrate when I put my alleged 2022 goals together and really kind of focus in on for the next year. Get these sets done, get as many as Lemieux as I can. Then going back to our show your hand episode, I might start asking around for certain Lemieux that I can't find. The more obscure stuff. What other places can I try to find those things at?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm getting to the point where they're not coming up in shows. I'm seeing them like at the expo. If Amit didn't put his camera on his case, I would have never saw those 2 cards. And those were 2 big off my list. So, which I hadn't seen either one of them before. Grabbed them both while I had the chance. And just happened to be 3 weeks later, 2 more of them came up, and I was lucky I was able to outbid those. So I got all 4 of them now, and I'm happy.
Yeah, it's the patience thing. It's always one part of the equation, but at the same time, after multiple years of seeing stuff, and then man, I don't see it. No matter what I'm doing, if I go to this site, if I go over here, if I see these expos, if I go to a show, you're just not seeing anything. It's like at some point, well, now do they exist? Because I haven't seen them. I have to assume they do because it's listed in whatever the big bank or whatever the case may be. But that's the thing with like a lot of my stuff too. With like, you get disheartened because it's like, okay, maybe you see it once, but there's gotta be more out there. Okay, year, 2 years, 4 years, 6. I'm like, well, what the hell is this? Phantom sale or no? It's real. I've seen one of them. Why haven't I seen another? A lot has to do with like the era. But in the same vein, it's like now everything's getting cracked, it seems, because everything's so fucking expensive. It's like it's either getting cracked because somebody wants to sell it, the wax, or they want to open it to pull something big, hopefully, and move it. So I want to do the same thing, but at the same time, I know I don't. Just because there's one guy on Facebook messaged me again about a week and a half ago. He's like, did you want any of these brodeurs? I'm like, yeah, there's a handful I could use. And I didn't even know what the other messages were because I saw there's other messages between us. And he's just like, well, what 90s brodeurs do you have? And I'm like, I've got a ton, but I don't have doubles on many. And then the ones I've got doubles on is, well, I've got them. And I'm like, well, I've got these, but they're not going anywhere. Oh, I could use. I'm like, I just said they're not going anywhere. I mean, if you're looking for something else, you know, that's all I'm looking for. I'm like, well, then you know where I'm at. I'm not buying doubles when there's so many other ones I don't have out there. And this isn't like a Josh Johnson thing where I can pretty much pluck anything low number and I don't have to worry about it because, oh man, I don't have like one of the super fractors came up, but he's got like 12 more. Well, no, I've got a bunch of them, so I can buy another red refractor to 5 if I see it, or an orange to 25. It's not going to kill my bank account most of the time. But with like another brodeur, it's like, okay, this one, a superpower or whatever, goes off, and that thing was okay, $80. The next one goes off for 90. The one after that goes for 72. It's like, well, I can't get all 3. I'm not spending $250 on 3 of the same card. Even if I'm investing in something, I'm not going to do that because that $250 can easily be put to either a huge card or towards a huge card, a brodeur that I don't have, or it can get me a plethora of quality that can fill in the holes, and I can still be equally as happy, even if I don't get the $400-$600 card, even if I really want those cards. So, it's I hate even thinking of the putting it out there, and because people are stupid. I'm like, I'm looking for these years, and I get something from like the late 2000s, early teens. I'm like, it's a nice card. I'm not even going down that road unless hashtag good deals only come along. And most of the time, that's going to be used in the event that I have to flip something. I can put that towards something that I want. But that's where the social media aspect, it gets tiring. I'm like, I've got a lot of stuff in. I could do that and have people like, oh, well, I've got this, I've got that, and maybe it'll lead to a few deals. But at the same time, for those few deals that it leads to, there's about 30 people that are too stupid to read or can figure out how to frame a sentence. And then it's like, well, I don't know what all those words mean together, but I see buying and Lemieux. Oh, he must want everything. Well, no, I won't mind everything, but there's a certain hierarchy here. This, or top of the mountain. Then we got 4 or 5 in the middle, and stickers and toilet flowers and unicorns on the bottom. The lowest rung. So I get that. That's I understand your plight there, Vinny. That it's you want to put yourself collection wise out there, but at the same time you just know it's gonna open Pandora's box. And when you open Pandora's box, the fragrance that is emitted from the box isn't always the most delightful and delicate. It can be pungent. It can be a pungent aroma from that box. So I understand your plight, Vinny. I understand it.
Well, if you can't talk to me, then
Did you really just go there, Dave?
I just wanted to grab a snack and then everything spilled over.
Hashtag allegedly.
Tipped over.
And while Vinny's sorting out his Lemieux list there, so my stuff, my watch list is as low as it's been in years. I think I still have some stuff that I keep on like the ended list that sells because I want to look at it. But the actual active stuff, I think it's down to like 240, which I haven't had that forever. It's always at like 3, whatever my ended is. It's basically up to 400 with the active stuff. And I just haven't. There's a couple things you pluck off, like that Galagov. Geez, it's like, okay, get it now, be done with it.
your head get a spin.
Like Niskanen, I want them in the collection, any of the Iron Range guys. But that's why, like for you, Steve, and the sets, I go back and jump into the DVD.
Poltergeist right now is your head
Stuff
get a
I've had
spin.
list for 10 years of.
What is wrong?
I haven't updated them in 10 years or so, but I've had them created for 10 years. So it's still there. I haven't got rid of any of the DVDs.
What kind of snack do you want? Well, I don't know how to get you. I don't know.
On something that holds less value than cards, but still, it's whenever I retire, never, or get my arm amputated soon, then I can sit and watch DVDs. So, and again, that's our trouble, at least with me, that I'm a completionist with a lot of stupid shit. I shouldn't be just be like, okay, be happy you got that. No, if there's a run to be had, I want to finish it. Especially when you start with the DVDs or movies, you don't want to get Lord of the Rings the second one or whatever, or Star Wars the fifth one. Oh, I'm good. It's like no, you got to get the whole works, either in a box set, singles, special deluxe editions, or whatever. It's like it's troublesome, but at the same time, it can be fun.
No, you can do it. You have 2 capable arms.
I don't.
Or yes, you do.
I don't.
Hold down your ass. Do I?
Cecilia Rose.
So,
No arms though. Ow.
C.
When you get the middle name,
yeah, that's true.
you know you're in trouble.
Then
Yep.
Taking it up a level.
Take it easy, Joe. And I have a random question. And it's hypothetical because you're not going to be able to answer this. Why in the world, when you do a Terrell Davis search on eBay, you get a sealed box of 2003-04 Flair basketball?
It's not only Will Davis.
No.
I look up Josh Johnson.
I know you get other random stuff, but I can understand other football type caliber players. Those I'm used to seeing. But 2003-04 Flair basketball, not the same sport. I see it all the time. Somebody put a crap ton of 2021 impeccable first off the line. And yes, there is a Terrell Davis from the same seller. But it's everything that was pulled out of, I don't know, 2 cases maybe. All the base cards numbered to 8. But I'm sitting there going, okay, I get some of it because, certain sellers have that qualification to kind of pull their stuff in even when you do a random search. But of all things, 03-04 Flair basketball. I don't get it.
It happens all the time when you search for Lemieux. Even my sub searches, there will be the oddest things that pop up. And I mean, like from mosaic basketball to God only knows what. But it's like, how did they use like a template and then they forget to take the Lemieux out of it when they copy and paste? Or do they hashtag it to death with keywords somewhere in there that pops it up because of it? I don't know. I've never listed something that way on eBay, so I wouldn't know. But if there's a section where you could put, 1,500 hashtags like on IG, you're going to find it somewhere. But it makes no sense. It's like products that he's never been in, let alone sports that he's never played. So it's very odd. So your hypothetical question isn't very hypothetical. It's very factual.
We just can't give a direct answer because it doesn't make it sense. Where, like you said, it's got to be some mystery algorithm or something that's getting like Nick.
Sure, you clean up your mess, please.
And then guess what? That shit shows up. Billy Russell played for the Steelers for a cup of coffee. One of those solid Gophers running backs from the 2000s. I'm looking up Josh Johnson, and there's the one that's out of Louisiana Lafayette this year. I picked up some of his stuff just because it's a disease. The 04 draft pick for the Royals, black shortstop. There's the true Josh Johnson, the Marlins. And then there's the quarterback for
Tampa Bay.
And then he's been around the block with the Jets, the Giants, Niners, I think, Baltimore, elsewhere. Basically, Count Jr. So I expect those guys. I expect to see David Johnson
Good night, Cecilia.
Josh Rosen dual
Good
cards.
night, Cecilia.
I've seen a couple of those. I expect to see like that stuff. Gary Russell, who doesn't even have a J in his name, shows up and along with like 5 other guys. And like,
They must have him confused with Jamarcus Russell because that has a J in it.
yeah, and I think it's the same rookie year with 7. So I look and I'm like, how does this happen? I mean, I'm already sifting through enough stuff I really don't care about. It's literally going to a card show. Hey, here's your Kobe Bryant box. Okay, fuck yeah, let's go. Kobe, Steve Kerr. What? Pizza got a job. What? Serge Zwicker, Marcus Weiser. What? These guys on their best day weren't Kobe on his absolute worst day. So I just you don't. I don't know. I don't know how that works out because it's I think it's first world problems, but it's a nuisance when you don't want to spend more time than you have to sifting through stuff, and then you get fucking shit you don't even care about in the category you look at the most.
Well, and I think I haven't listed on eBay in a long time from a selling perspective. And they keep changing stuff. They enforce additional requirements. So it could be one of those, Vinny kind of alluded to it earlier, that if they're using a template when they do a post and they're reusing the template, forgetting to make certain changes, then I could understand potentially why it would make sense. You type in Terrell Davis, you're going to get, Rob Gronkowski, impeccable first off the line base card numbered to 8. If they use the Terrell Davis as their basis for their template and they actually leverage all the information within the eBay the selling fields, then I guess that would make sense. But that I grasp a little bit more than 2003-04 Flair basketball. I mean, not anywhere close. eBay's not allowed to have freaking algorithms. But then again, I know certain sellers have prominence and they're able to actually get stuff listed. That's nice. Please tell me that's actually game worn.
Yeah.
That's an X Factor. Is it not?
Pulsar, maybe.
I was going to say, or is that one a Pulsar?
Of course, you can't see it. It's right below the Sterling.
10? 15?
Yeah, 15. So,
Peppers doesn't have a lot of game used Chicago Bear stuff either.
no, I've got one out of Crown Royale at 10. But yeah, his stuff that's still on the radar of getting an auto of him, even though they're a little more prevalent.
Pricey.
They're pricey, but they're prevalent now. It used to be if you phone the contenders, you're paying $600-800 because that's SP to 50. There's a SP sign of the times, and I don't even know if there's anything else. But now Panini, the last 2-3 years, has had the awards. It was the awards subset, or Joey's doing that set, and Luke. The Spectra stuff, they've got the awards where it sort of spans all the products. He's got that, but again, you want to find a good copy. A lot of them are streaky, and I think he's got the Super Bowl champion one, and the Spectra one, and I know he's got a couple others out there, like Immaculate or whatever. And I mean, they're not. I could probably get one for 100, but I'm being like Joey, and I want to dick her down to like 70, 80, just because again, really don't
You're
want to spend.
you're cheap. That's
Well,
okay.
for something that doesn't. If I get it now, I'll be happy. I don't know if like 5 years from now I'll be happy at the price I paid, because I still see him doing a lot more stuff because he seems like a personable guy. Um, I can't imagine him just being screw it. He's not like a Brock Lesnar who doesn't want to deal with people. He just seems like a guy that's not super public oriented, but he'll get out there and do his thing, as the kids say. So I don't know. I'd like to get to the contenders, but that's 10 times what I'd have to pay. Sign of the Times, I've looked at that. I've bid on that 2 or 3 times, and every time it's gone for like 400 or 500. So
Yeah, but the Contenders one, I mean, that's the chase for his stuff, just because of it being short printed.
yeah,
And that'd be a cool one to have. The only difference is, it's if I'm not. So what was he 02?
yep.
So that's the sticker,
the foil,
like
foil.
the. I almost called it a trap sticker, but it really isn't. It's kind of made to look like a trap sticker.
Mhm.
It'd be cooler if it was, in the later years when they did on card autos for the top stars for contenders.
We got the one per box of somebody of the rookie premier class or whatever.
Yep. But on the flip side, it's one of those in which that boils down to personal preference. It's one of those you have specific requirements for certain autographs for certain players that you want because of, caliber player, the type of individual they are, and so on and so forth. It's almost like the quote unquote Hall of Fame collection.
Yep.
To me, Peppers is definitely a surefire Hall of Famer. If he didn't get in, I'd be quite surprised. But
Yeah.
at the same time, who knows these days? Me, from my perspective, for years I thought about doing something like that, but me always being kind of like a rookie guy, I'd want the rookie. And for a lot of those players in the autograph rookie era, you're going to pay a hefty price for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the ones you should have picked up 15 years ago, 10 years ago, to where you could pay, $200, $250. And that's including, Eli and Roethlisberger and Rivers and Breeze, and all those type of guys. But we always talk about it. Timing is everything. The perfect time is yesterday type situation in those scenarios. But for Peppers, honestly, since he doesn't have a ton of autos, as long as it's on card, me personally, I'd go that route. That's me. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, the worst part about the contenders, though. 50. That's the huge problem. And then you think about, because this was before 8 variations of like the top players. You didn't have one throwing right-handed, running with the ball in the right hand, running with the ball in the left hand, no ball at all, no helmet. It's like, no, just one. You need one. I know you're making more, so you can make more product, make more money. I get that. But you better notate one of them as a true rookie before everybody spends stupidly because before that, you SP'd a bunch of guys.
Well, and the SP is always more expensive than the true rookie.
But I mean, this was like Pepper for 50. Then you had to think of
No, I get it.
01, you had to think Archuleta at like 40, and Carricker was like a couple of years later that Adam Carricker was like a D end. He was like super low number. And I've got God, who was it? Arthur Lynch from Miami in like 08 or 09. And that thing was like numbered to like 30. And I was able to get that off one of the Facebook pages because nobody knew. When I saw that, I'm like, oh shit. That I remember this is one of like the super low current ones. And they get it for like $7. If I would have got that back then for 7, you could flip it for like 150, 200 without even skipping a beat. Because that Contenders, as soon as that came out as like the standalone, more so in 98, that was sort of like the big, here's the ticket. That's the debut of the ticket.
Yep.
So now you've got an okay rookie class to start off with. You get the on-card autos of everybody that everybody wants. Okay, now we go forward with that. 99 designs beautiful, not 2000s. 2001. Yeah.
2000 was too dark. the card print, the background of the card itself was too dark.
Yeah, you couldn't have any. Those autos didn't pop at all.
No, hard
Oh,
to tell.
Oh, one, I like the team colors, plus like the sticker. But once again, it felt too blocked, there wasn't flow to it. But it's a definite upgrade from 2000. 99, they hit a grand slam. I love that year too, with the parallels of like the gold finesse, the speed, red, and the power blue or whatever the hell it was. So, but that's the problem with nobody remembers. I remember Beckett message boards just lighting up when Contenders came out. You'd have 20, 30, 40 guys going after the set immediately. And if you hit, let's say Ed Reed was a short print, you hit the Ed Reed, it's like you can pretty much put it up for whatever you wanted. Palomalu.
I was going to say Palomalo was another short print.
Any of those big names, it's like you could just sit there and Palomalu, grand or best offer. And you wouldn't have people dickering. It'd be like, okay, I'll do 9. And then somebody below them would comment and be like, oh, I'll buy it for $1,000. I don't care. I just want to get it and get out of the way. Because we've seen how many box breaks in the boards, and you don't see this guy, this guy, this guy. You see maybe one of a Carson Palmer. You see maybe a couple Leftwich. Nothing of Fitzgerald. That was another one that was stupid. Low numbered.
150 or something.
Who?
The numbering, I think he was to like 150 or something.
Fitz?
Yeah. Or was he to 50?
I think he was 50. I think that's stupid low too. So again, I that's where the Peppers. That's one I want, but I know every time it'd have to be a perfect storm. There'd have to be nothing of Brodeur that's come up, or is hopefully would come up like 6 weeks from the sale of the Peppers, so I could like be like, okay, I'll try to get 1,500, sell $1,500 worth of stuff and make it run at that, because that's such an iconic card for us. That's not the Jim Brown rookie. That's not the Walter Payton rookie. It's not the Namath. It's not a Montana, not a Rice, not a Marino, not an Elway. even though we're older, that's something that you go back to if you collected not as a novice. Not as like, I'll open a pack here and there. You knew when contenders came out, people were getting excited. And when those playoff would list the SP print runs or whatever, it was almost like a third or fourth Christmas day. Because then you could sit there and be like, okay, I've got my list. We're gonna either go or say, okay, you guys you deal with it. I'm not paying X for Fitz. I'm not paying X for Eli. I'm not paying Y for Rivers or I don't know, Chris Perry and Greg Jones they weren't limited, but let's say they were. It's like, okay, now I got to pay like 150 for Greg Jones, the fucking fullback for the Jaguars. I don't want to spend 15 cents on him, but just because he's limited at 38, But that's what collectors did because that was set collecting on steroids.
Yeah, a lot of people did contenders. A lot of people.
I watched a baseball break of contenders the other day. It's 6 packs a box. I think like 15 cards a pack. They basically ripped 3 of the packs, ripped the other 3. Auto.
Yep.
Auto. Didn't look for parallels, didn't look for, anything. Picked out the second stack. Auto. Panini points. Auto. And that was the box break. And it was like, what did I just witness here? It become so boring and going back to the episode or base cards dead. Is it become so much so that we yearn for that hit that we can't appreciate the cards, the base themselves? And here's the other thing. If you're popping $120 for that set box and the base set's 100 and you maybe get 30 cards, base cards out of that box, you're going to have to open 3 boxes, $360 to even get remotely close to that 100 card base set.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many doubles are you going to get? It's like opening those mega boxes for holiday. I tried to do that. It took me 4 boxes to get to 200 cards, and I was still short 3. And I had a 4th box sitting there. Now, did I open 3 or did I open 4? Opened 4 boxes of whatever year it was for Topps holiday. So it took me 4 boxes to make the 200 card set, and I was 3 cards short. So right there, that's $100 to make it a set because all the rookies are in there. That's the one good thing. They put all the big rookies in that holiday set. So in theory, they make less of that than Series 1, 2, and 3, or update, Series 1 and 2 and update. So in theory, minus the Garland and the candy canes, it's kind of a limited set. But still, 4 boxes, and that's at $25 a pop. We're going to contenders at $120 a pop for baseball. Not the easiest set to put together.
And yet they can sell the base set for $15.
But then there's no joy of putting it together anymore. Of pulling a set and putting it together. It's easier just to go and buy the base set and call it done. There's no fun in that.
Well, and that's why set collecting is a dying breed. It has been for a long time. Even Dave and I can relate, even going back on our prime of YouTube. Yes, there were quote unquote set collectors, but it was typically auto or memorabilia sets. There was no discussion of base sets. Me and Tanvir, TSDST5, were about the only ones who always talked about Topps Chrome sets. because he did what I did for quite a few years. He bought a case and put a set together. And, it's one of those in which there was always that enjoyment of, yes, you enjoyed the refractors or the inserts or the rookie autos and that type of stuff. But, to sit there and that sense of accomplishment of putting a set together, although, yes, it cost you, $600, which was roughly the going rate for a case of Chrome for a lot of years. It cost you $600 to put a set together. But you at least put a set together.
Mm-hmm.
And, early on, when the new Chrome would come out, you'd see sets out there for $60-$70 complete.
Yep.
But as the years progressed, you could get them for $30-$35. And I'll be the first one to say it. That's how I got a lot of my newer Topps Chrome sets. I'm like, yeah, it's fun to open a case and get the autos and everything else, but $600 to get a set and maybe get something good to where maybe you can recoup some cash, maybe not, who knows? Or go buy the set 6 months after its release and pay $30. That's what I did. And if I would have been smart, I would have been buying multiples of some of the other sets.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. Hindsight's 2020, as the saying goes. But I looked at him. I looked at him for years. And I started tracking sell prices. And, it's like shoulda, coulda, woulda. But when you're focused or hyper-focused on a player PC type situation, you have a tendency to lose track of some of your other quote-unquote side PCs or side collections. At least from my perspective. I know the two of you have a tendency to look at a multitude of them from time to time. I don't. And I lose out on opportunities. But, it is what it is. It's not like I can change it. So.
And I think doing the side PCs, right, until one day it burns you when you just bought, like, tonight I got a cool card that I wanted that's not in the limited PC, but it's in one of the 382 other ones I have, Warehouse 12. But could I have spent that on a Lemieux I need? Probably. Why didn't I? Thanks, better half. Appreciate that.
Because you're a dumbass, for those who didn't hear.
But it's sometimes you get bored with looking at Lemieux cards all day long. I hate to say it. After a while, you kind of want to grab something that's a little out of the ordinary. And this card's out of the ordinary for me. And I'm sitting there and what? Huh?
Something about the porch.
It's called a blowtorch. Or a big black garbage bag. Steve, I'm not on the podcast anymore.
Mute your mic and have a conversation.
I'm just staring at her because she's blowtorching my cards and black garbage bagging my cards. I'm like, this is no. How could you go from Santa better half last week to the Grinch this week? Jeez.
It's called life, work. It can happen. It can happen in the blink of an eye.
This is true. This is true. But I digress. Watch the show.
I didn't say it. Just tell her I did not say anything ugly.
She did not. Steve and Dave are not guilty. It was all me. Yeah, I digress. But
I didn't say anything ugly.
I know you didn't.
See?
By association.
Yeah. See,
Oh, kiss my ass. On that note, we have surpassed the 2.5 hour mark, Dave.
On a tender pre-Christmas feeling.
Yeah, let's try and get back to the positivity and the joy of the season,
yeah.
not the Grinch.
I'll drop it.
But I understand what Vinny's saying. You don't
Go ahead.
sit there and look at the same stuff all the time. It's fun, but at the same time, if you've got other endeavors you want to chase them with reservation. Because once you
I'm
pigeon-
always concerned I'll open Pandora's box, as you allude to. I'll start stumbling across a lot of things, and it's like, oh crap. And it's one of those in which that's why I avoid the other stuff as much as possible, because I'm a completionist because of that. I feel like it could really go down a steep decline to where I'm going, oh crap, I spent how much? Oh shit. And that's why I limit certain things in my search criteria to not open the door, because I'm not in a position to where, I could pull a Vinny and leverage what he does. I can't. I can't.
I don't know if all my stuff is for leverage because, going back to what Dave said, man, some of the stuff that I buy that's not for the main PC, I don't really want to give that stuff up because, again,
Hoarder.
it's the museum theory.
Hoarder.
It's the museum theory. I'll just overtalk you, and I want that piece in the museum. I hear more and more people talk about. Thank you so much. I hear more people talk. Well, I'm not a museum. Well, you're a flipper. Of course, you're not a museum. But remember, the person that buys your card at the end, 9 chances out of 10, if it's not to the 6 guys over here or the 12 girls over there or the 12 people over here, once it's out of that circulation of 24 people, it's 9 chances out of 10 going to go to the collector's hands, and it's not going to go anywhere else. Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. Anyhow, soapbox retract. Just soapbox retract.
I couldn't help myself. I just had to do it. That wasn't thanks, boys. That was all me. I'll take full credit for that one. Yeah, all me. This guy right here.
Yep. You and the one that's sitting on that couch. Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Anytime. He's always nice. Anyways, so Dave, we touched on the subject in length this time.
Got Ed on here.
Yes,
First time in any
a long time.
word being on. I haven't seen him comment on anything quite a while. I gotta contact Brad too because I know he's starting a new job. I want to see how that's just A, going, and B, I know he had said too that it's like, oh, sort of like me, he now had to do the 5 to 1 shift. And I'm like, aha, welcome to my life. Especially if you're used to doing like a late shift or what it would be a second shift, maybe a 2 to 10 or a 12 to 8 or something like that. It's like, oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be an adjustment period. But yeah, I haven't seen him in here. Haven't seen Joey Burkett 8 in a while. So good to get Ed on here. Good to get one of the guys that's been on for a multitude of years, along with our newer YouTubers and loyal following, the intermingling. So, I'd like to thank everybody popping in the comments tonight, chattering, even if it wasn't something we were babbling about. It's good to see people are, at least if we're not keeping you amused, you're amusing yourself in the comments. So, hey, do what you got to do. Thanks for Vinny jumping in. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, give us money. I don't care. Just not NFTs. We want FTs, fungible tokens. So get the non out, unless it's non bread. Then get the non in. So Christmas coming up, holidays, whatever you celebrate. Be safe if you're traveling. Take that extra picture with your family members, even if it's a groaning moment where it's like, fuck it, just do it. Give the older folks, give the younger folks, give the medium age folks that extra hug. Tell them you love them. I won't say don't hold the grudge, but for a second, don't hold the grudge. Give them a hug. Unless it's something inexcusable, and punch them in the dick or the slit, then good on you. Christmas is the giving season.
Facts.
So, hashtag not allegedly. So, you never know when that is going to be the last Christmas, the last time. So, with that, he's Steve. You can't see because it's the light. There's a hand. That's Vinny. I'm Dave. This has been the Instant Revolution podcast. Remember, cards, absolutely wonderful, and they bring us together. The friendships you guys forge, we forge in the hobby. That is what it's all about. Right, Paul? Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.